here.
Good evening and welcome to the first of two meetings tonight. My name is Dennis Buckley, Mayor of the City of Beech Grove, and at this time we will convene our Board of Sanitation meeting for Monday, May the 15th, 2017. In lieu of a roll call, I will ask each participant to introduce themselves, beginning on my far right.
Dave Harrison.
Dan McMillan, Clerk Treasurer.
Craig Wiley, City Attorney.
Sandy Seward has an absence this evening and won't be with us. Board, you have been presented a printed copy of the minutes of the previous meeting dated Monday, May the 1st, 2017. Floor is open for questions, comments, or any corrections.
I have no corrections or comment.
Having no corrections, comments, or questions, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes dated May 1st, 2017 as presented.
I make motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. This evening, Board, we have 3 pages of wastewater claims in the amount of $91,953.92. Floor is open for questions or comments.
I have none.
If there's no questions or comments, I'll ask for a motion to approve the wastewater claims dated May the 15th, 2017 in the amount of $91,953.92.
I make motion to approve the claims.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. We have no unfinished business from the previous meeting to carry over. We have no new business this evening. Council or comments from board members?
I have none.
No comments. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make motion to adjourn.
I second. The meeting is adjourned at 6:02 p.m. We will convene Board of Public Works and Safety in 5 minutes. Thank you. Dave, I'll ask for a motion to approve the certificate of substantial completion with Miller Pipeline on the 2017 sanitary sewer rehabilitation project.
I make said motion.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. Okay. Casey, one thing, if they would, in the future, would you have them send those over to us, like today's Monday? Have tell the office staff to send them over to us the Wednesday before so we can look at them.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. We don't want to hold anything up, but we would sure like to have a look at them.
That's understandable.
All right.
Let them know.
Do we need to do any approval for payment, or is that actually in the contract?
We can.
Okay, I didn't know which was accepted. I mean, it's in the contract,
Yeah.
so I didn't know if that was something we needed to do, so.
Sure, we
When
can.
I get the bill in, I just write the check.
Dave, I'll ask for a motion to approve payment for 2017 sanitary sewer rehabilitation work done by Miller Pipeline pursuant to Lanning.
I would make said motion.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye, and the motion carries. Just to be safe.
Yeah, thank you.
Casey, thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right. That concludes old business. Under new business, we have several items. The first is notice to proceed with trash trucks. Brad?
Good evening, Mayor and Board. So I have written a letter to, I think our goal last time we purchased trash trucks was to keep them on a 5-year cycle. And this fall, as I'll mention, our last payment on those trucks is due up. So I am requesting to replace those trash trucks. Dear Board, it is my recommendation to the Board of Works that the Department of Public Works be allowed to solicit bids for the purchase of 2 new trash trucks in 2018. The current 2012 trash trucks are due to be paid off in the fall of 2017. DPW requests to keep both 2012 trash trucks as backups and auction off the 2000 trash truck. Thank you for your consideration in this matter, and please let me know if you have any questions or concerns.
Thank you. Floor is open for any questions or comments.
Are the 2012 trash trucks still in pretty good shape?
Yes, they are, and to touch on, historically, we've had 3. I think when we had the automated, at one point, we had 4, but we ran into a situation last year, and we're actually in a situation right now where our oldest one, which is pretty old, is in the shop. And if something happens to one of the other 2, all of a sudden, we're floundering, needing a truck. So we've discussed this, and going forward, I think having 2 backups makes me feel a lot better, because, obviously things happen. But they are in good shape. It would be great flexibility for our service mechanic also, because he can service trucks that we use on a daily basis, and while he's doing that, send those older trucks out for a day or 2. So it just gives us a lot more flexibility in how we do our operation, and we found out quickly how expensive it is to rent one. Luckily, we worked it out with Ray's, where we end up not incurring costs, but I think if it were to happen again, or if it were to happen on a more regular basis, we would be paying to have a truck brought in. So that was our thought process behind keeping the 2 that we have.
And the 2000 Sterling trash truck, it comes a time where, do you really want to continue to put money in it?
Yeah, I mean, it's in the shop right now. There's a couple things wrong with it, but to keep it going until we get the new ones, we've got to do it. But yeah, you cringe every time you put money into a truck that's 17 years old.
But the clerk and I talked about it this morning. This is for planning for next year, so this won't happen this year.
Right.
This will be next year. We're just planning, looking ahead. So, any other questions or comments?
I'd just like to say, I think it's great that we're doing this, and keeping our fleet up to date. That last time, I think it was 16 or 17,000 that we was gonna have to pay to rent one for a month. So I was tickled to death to hear you say that you was gonna keep 2 of them. I think it's a great deal that, work out good for you guys. Are you gonna rotate these occasionally, like once a week, once a month, so they just don't sit there and rust?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it gives Wilson a chance to service those new trucks and keep them in for a day and maybe put one of these trucks out. And you don't want it to sit.
Right.
So it's to our advantage to run it at least maybe once a week or something on a consistent basis.
And these, if you find out the price on them, where I can kind of put them out for bid, we can do the same schedule. We can do, I think this was February and August they're on now, or, we can do January, whatever. Just, the sooner you know the price or approximate, where I can put it out to bid to get the best interest rate.
Okay.
All right, Dave, any other questions?
No?
If not, I'll ask for a motion to proceed with the notice to proceed with the purchase of 2 new trash trucks, not before the first day of 2018.
I'll make said motion.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks.
The next order of business, and we've already approved this for payment out of the claims, but I think it's very important that we disclose that we had a collapse and we had to fix it. So I'll defer to the Public Works Director to explain the problem we had.
Yeah, so this was a sewer main repair at 71 North 7th. Read the letter. Dear Board, on Tuesday, May 2nd, the City of Beech Grove sewer main failed in the area of 71 North 7th. I'm recommending payment to Roto-Rooter in the amount of $8,400 for the repairs made to the Beech Grove sewer main. The Beech Grove sewer main at this location is 14 feet deep and required hydro excavation by fluid waste with additional trench boxes and shoring to achieve safe working conditions during the repair. Beech Grove sewer main included a clay factory Y, which was angled to serve the other side of the alley. Stress on the clay elbows caused all the clay pipe to crack in the area of the main and the homeowner's lateral. The old sewer main Y had to be removed and replaced. Wessler Engineering was consulted in the matter and recommended this solution. Please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. And basically, a homeowner's failure triggered this. Phil was out there, and what happened was and hydro excavation is a little more expensive, but it was ideal in that they're not using a typical excavator. They're actually using like a vac truck to excavate that dirt. So there was no chance, and actually, like I mentioned, Mr. Gerganis was there. No damage was done to our main by an excavator. So we saw this when it was exposed. And basically 70 years ago when this was put in, they connected this home into a Y off the main, which was kind of like a T or a stub. It was pointing to the other side of the alley. So the homeowner really had a bad design from us to serve that property. That was really ideally to serve the other side of the alley. So over time, that fracture, we ended up replacing 3 feet of the main itself. And then the homeowner paid to fix their part of their lateral. Just downstream was another Y pointed their direction, but that's not how it was connected back in probably the 40s or 50s when it was done. So we certainly had a responsibility. We did consult Wessler just to get their opinion, and they agreed that this was the proper course of action. Phil was involved in the entire process, also inspected the work. Roto-Rooter was there and provided a quote prior to the work. So we had the option, if we felt like the quote was exorbitant or too much money, we could have pulled them off our part and done another contractor, but it would have cost us a lot to mobilize someone else into the area, and this was reasonable. We felt like it was a reasonable price for what they did.
All right, Dave, any comments?
No.
We've already approved the payment with the claim cycle, but I do want to get approval to make the repair for the record. So if we
I'll
could-
make a motion to approve the repair.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. Thanks, Brad. We have one more item for you, 18th Avenue sidewalk repairs.
And so each year we do some sidewalk work, and it's sometimes they get a little bunched up, and then when it goes over 10,000 in one area, we like to bid that out just to be transparent and obviously to follow the rule. So that's what this is for. Dear Board, repairs on sidewalks and curbs at certain locations in the 200 block of North 18th will soon be taking place. I have received quotes from this job from Ace in the Hole, that was for $14,800, and Major Enterprises, and that was for $16,007.51. I have awarded the job to Ace in the Hole since they were the lowest quote. Please let me know if you have any questions or concerns regarding this matter. And I went to great lengths when I was out there with both contractors to make sure it was an apples to apples quote. They were quoting the exact same scope of work, and so that's where the prices came in. We've worked with Ace in the Hole many times before, and always they've done good work, and I've had no issues with them. But we just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware that we did bid this out since it went over $10,000.
Thank you. Floor is open for any questions or comments.
I have none.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to award the quote job to Ace in the Hole, as they appear to be the most responsive quote.
I'll make a motion to award the job to Ace in the Hole.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. Brad, quickly, can you rattle off where we've done sidewalk work and are doing sidewalk work?
Yeah, in this current batch of sidewalk work, we've got some work going on Biloxi. There's this work on North 18th. There's a spot on, and I might mention, a lot of these involve trees. A lot of the spots on North 18th are due to trees in the right-of-way that are heaving up the sidewalks. There's a spot on 5th, just north of Churchman. It's the same situation. We had the tree removed, and then we're replacing the sidewalk once the tree's out. Woodmont Court, there's another section of sidewalk where we've removed a tree, and we're putting sidewalk back in. We went a little longer because that was a spot that held some water. So, when we're there, we try to pick a good spot to start and then get to another good panel to end. We hate to fix sidewalk and the next one that we didn't fix has a giant crack in it. So we try to fix what we can while we're there, but also be conscious of the budget and restraints. And obviously, it only goes so far. But and then we've got a catch basin that we're repairing on Grovewood as well. That's coming in about the same type as this work.
All of those projects that you mentioned, other than the 18th Street, has any of them exceeded the $10,000 limit?
No.
All right. We just want to make sure we stay within those limits.
Yep.
All right. Dave, any questions?
No, sir.
All right.
I'm good.
Brad, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Surplus firefighting gear. Chief?
Mayor and Board, I'm asking for approval to surplus 15 sets of Globe Extreme structural firefighting gear and 3 additional coats. This structural firefighting gear has been in service for over 10 years and have all been replaced. The gear currently has no value and is out of date for use. If approved, the gear will be donated to Gregg Township Fire Department cadets for training purposes only.
All right. Floor is open for any questions or comments.
I have none.
The only thing I would ask, Chief, is that they sign off on something.
Yes, what we've requested, if this is approved, to have a letter from their township fire department stating that they will not use this gear for structural firefighting and that they are aware that it's out of date.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's no other questions. I'll ask for a motion to approve the chief's request to surplus 15 sets of Globe Extreme structural firefighting gear and 3 additional coats.
I'll make said motion.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Hey, while you're up there, can you give us an update on the incident today over at South Grove Woods?
Yes, fire department responded over Smoke Tree Drive. We had a tree trimmer, and he was about 25 feet in a tree, cutting down the top 20-foot section. When he cut it off, the tree limb, actually the rest of the tree came down, struck him, and he was stuck in the tree. When our crews initially arrived, they didn't have good information from dispatch on what the call really was, except a gentleman was stuck with appendage in the tree. And when they arrived, they realized that they needed additional help. They called for a ladder to come down. When the ladder arrived, our crews immediately threw up a ladder to assist the gentleman. And we realized that we weren't able to get him down from the tree safely on the ladder truck. We ended up calling for TAC 7. We were able to get the gentleman stabilized, the IV, give him pain medication. And with the assistance of TAC 7, we were able to put the trimmer in a new harness and safely remove him from the situation he was in. It was a very great effort from both the Beech Grove Fire Department and Indianapolis Fire Department to pull off this rescue this afternoon. So very proud of
Where
both
was his
departments.
saw?
It was on the
Was
ground.
it hanging on him?
No, it was on the ground.
Wow.
So.
Sounds like.
And did a little follow-up. The gentleman is at IU in surgery this time, so.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Thanks,
you.
Chief. Surplus printer, Mayor's Office. Dear Board, I am recommending that we surplus a Brother printer model MFC 8910 that is no longer working in the Mayor's Office. It has no value to the city. It will be placed in the next city auction. Any questions or comments, Dave?
No.
I ask for a motion to approve the surplus.
I make said motion.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. Thank you. This evening, Board, this is the first for us. We have two food vendor permits for food trucks. This is a spin-off of General Ordinance Number 2, 2016, that was approved last year. This is the first time that we've had these come before us. And the first one is Boxburger Food Truck, Kyle Foods. They have supplied the vehicle registration, their Marion County Health Department certificate. They have provided certificate of liability insurance naming the City of Beech Grove as additional insured. And we have also requested their last inspection from a health department, which is not really required, but we did anyway. The police, Chief, you were out, so Deputy Chief Maurice looked into these people and found no problems and signed off on it. So do you have anything else to add?
I talked to him today about it. We had no criminal history except for one, and it was several years ago. Nothing to do with what we would be worried about.
Okay. So Dave, if we approve this permit, they will have to come in, and the permit fee is $99, and the permit will have to be in plain sight on the vehicle when they are in the Beech Grove area. So do you have any questions?
No, other than where are they gonna go? I mean, just
Well, what they want to do,
to events?
no, I told them, I said, if you go to events, you have to have approval from the people who put the events on. For instance, like the Promoters Club, when they do the fireworks, they just can't arbitrarily show up.
Okay.
They would have to be invited by the Promoters Club. What their goal is they want to they run several food trucks, and they want to move their operation to Main Street
Okay.
and then work out of a building down here on Main Street, which would be good for us, but with that, they have to abide by the ordinances established by the council.
I think right now, I thought I'd seen Boxburger a few weeks ago over at St. Francis, which is completely legal, provided they're on St. Francis property. They just can't be parked on the street. My only question would be, are we going to put any hour restrictions as far as, I mean, I know there's some extenuating circumstances. If there's music on Main Street and it lasts till midnight, that's understandable, but is this open to them 24 hours a day?
No, I think they'd have to abide by noise ordinance and all that stuff, and we could talk to them. They're very willing to be here.
Okay.
And I think they know that if they want to be on Main Street or wherever, they have to be a good citizen. And I think they'll do that. They're anxious about it. They've got everything we asked them to do. They provided us real quick, and I think they'll be a good citizen. If not, we'll talk to them about it. So,
Well, I know there's a couple businesses that would like for them to provide food. I guess my other question would be, are they allowed to take up a parking space on Main Street, or how does that work?
they would have to abide by there is an ordinance for hour-and-a-half parking, which we could enforce on Main Street. But we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get there.
Like you say, if they're good citizens about it, they're gonna cooperate as
cooperate.
much as possible anyway, but I just thought these are some questions that,
Sure.
someone may ask.
So Dave, there's two of them. We'll just do the first one first. Kyle Foods, Boxburger Food Truck. They've met all the conditions for a permit, so I'll ask for permission to approve.
I make said motion to approve.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. We have another one here called Chomp's Truck. And they have the same criteria. They work together. They provided their registration, their certificate of liability. This one doesn't show it, but Debbie's got it on file down there. Naming the city of Beech Grove as additional insured. And by the way, Dave, they're supposed to have a minimum of $1 million insurance.
Okay.
Their public health, Marion County Public Health License. And then even asked for their last inspection from a health department. And Deputy Chief Maurice looked at these folks as well, and he came back and signed off on it, so I don't know of anything pending. I will add, though, on any of these food trucks, we have the right to inspect as often as necessary. And they actually were pretty good about it because we told them what our ordinance was, and I told them I didn't think it was right to allow to just have a food truck just show up, not noticed, because you don't know any of the history, and you might not know what you're getting. So this is a good protection. So, Dave, do you have any questions?
No.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the license application for Chomp's Truck.
I make said motion.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. Thank you. One last order of business is to hang a banner for Beautify Beech Grove. I am seeking permission for the Beautify Beech Grove Committee to be allowed to have a banner hung at the entrance of the Little League Diamonds on South 9th to advertise the 5th Annual Family Walk on June 17th. This event allows us to raise money to purchase American flags, veterans flags, banners on Emerson Avenue, and Christmas decorations for the city. Floor is open for any question or comment.
I have none.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the installation of a banner at the Little League Diamonds.
I make the motion to approve the banner.
I second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I vote aye as well, and the motion carries. Brad, I think that banner is in a box downstairs somewhere. You might have to ask Julie where it's at. I seen it the other day, but I don't know. That concludes new business. Comments from board members.
I have no comment tonight.
Chief, did you want to talk about the Tuesday, May 30th celebration Safe Community? The police department thing? If you're not aware of it, the police department is having a festival in the park. Everybody knows about it.
I found out about it when I was on vacation, and Mike Treat is really behind this, and this is the kind of project that he likes. So at Sarah Bolton Park, they have a shelter of shelters, and everybody's invited. Rosini's Pizza is going to be there, and I'm not sure, I think he's having hot dogs and hamburgers also, because he's talking about cooking, so I don't think he'll cook the pizza. I hope not. But 7 p.m.,
I don't know what my thing, I put it up.
5 to 8 on the 30th. So everybody's invited and come, and there's going to be some events for the kids. I don't know if he's having a bounce house or what, but I think he's also having snow cones there, and should be a good event.
Anything else? I know you've been out on vacations, but
Now, we put a hold on a couple of our applicants. We just didn't like what we've seen with them, so we put a hold on them for a little bit, do a little bit more work on it. The one officer, he's in his final phase, Officer Garrison, so he should be released to the road probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Which
Can you touch base on what you was telling me before the meeting with the IDEX thing?
The state, which is probably the state police, has made a rule to where we have to have an assistant coordinator to be named to help our full-time coordinator. In the absence of our full-time coordinator, which is Beth now, vacation, sickness, days off, there are certifications and there's meetings that the state is requiring, and they made this, Beth went to the last meeting, and it's either supposed to be June 30th or July 1st that they want this assistant coordinator named.
What does that mean? I mean,
The assistant coordinator will do every job our coordinator does when the coordinator is off, either vacation, sick, days off. That is attending meeting, that's validations of stolen property, wanted people, missing people, anything with IDEX. And I don't know why they just said that you will have to have one. If you have a terminal, which we have, an IDEX number, which we need to have, they're saying you have a assistant named.
okay, does that mean can the assistant be part-time?
The assistant can be part-time, but the problem is, a part-time employee will not be available or may not be available when full-time is off, either vacation, sick, or what, days off. So what I have talked to Beth about, and we have a person in mind that is willing to take it, she would like to come on full-time. But she was told, Beth was told that this can't happen until at least next year. That I don't know what can happen with the budget, and I haven't even talked to her about what she would like in money, but I know with what our part-time people being paid now, that Beth, being full-time, will have to come over to the police department salary, and maybe that money that's paid our public safety people or office, sorry.
That's the IDEX, folks.
She's calling in about
Yeah.
money.
That maybe that money can be used to pay those people in full-time positions instead of our 4 or 5 part-time people that we
I just
have.
wish they'd quit changing the rules all the time.
Yeah, this is.
Or do it when it's budget time for us so we can plan.
Yeah, it's about a budget time for the state, I think. This is,
I don't know.
but Beth went to this district meeting, and everybody in the state has to do it. I don't know what happens if you don't do it, other than you're in violation. I know that if you're in violation of the state IDEX, they can pull your IDEX certification and your IDEX, and that really hurts the citizens of Beech Grove, hurts the police department with how police departments, and there are other departments that do not have dispatch, and they have a assistant. 'Cause I asked Beth about that. What about if you don't have dispatch? They goes, there's a couple of them that were at the meeting. They don't have, they're dispatched by their county like we are with Indianapolis, and they have an assistant. So it's just something that I told Beth, I go, we might name another person, but they definitely can't get paid a full-time rate until we go through the budget for next year. But it's just something that I'll have to name as an assistant, but she will remain as a part-time person with no benefits other than what she gets paid part-time.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to comment on that. Part of the issue with this is when we lost our dispatch system, we were spending about 400,000 a year approximately. Now, we could have saved it for around 300,000. Now we're gonna spend 100,000 if we have two IDEX full-time people and not getting any benefit other than the IDEX. And that troubles me greatly that we're throwing money after things like this that
Well,
is not a
those
real
IDEX
benefit.
people also man the front end, they answer the phones, and they're gonna take over other jobs in the department that we have our full-time police officers do. They're gonna do that job too. Put that officer back into the police work instead of being an office person.
Right.
That's, I've
But
got,
my whole point is we're spending 100 grand for what we used to, we could have saved our dispatch system for 300. And the law
Yeah.
never did pass on no more than 2 PSAPs for the entire county. So, you know, they tell us stuff all the time, then they don't follow through with it. If it gets political at the state house and, you know, no one follows through with the, what the rules are.
yeah, I'll find out the end of June, 1st of July, if there is any teeth behind this.
Keep us
So
posted.
it's just one of those things that I was notified today, so I'm passing on in case something comes about.
All right, thanks, Chief. Dave, any comments before we adjourn?
No, I have none.
Before we adjourn, I just want to announce that we are going to have a special Board of Works meeting next Monday in these chambers at 6:30 to hear a special contract presentation concerning an agreement between CWA, which is Citizens Energy, and the City of Beech Grove. That is a very important meeting, and I would certainly suggest that the citizens attend. The board will hear it at 6:30. That will be the only order of business. At 7 o'clock, the Common Council will meet for the same special contract presentation between CWA, which is Citizens Energy, and the City of Beech Grove. That will be the only order of business for that meeting as well. It is an open meeting to the public, and the public has a right to speak at the council meeting, and it's already been posted, and Dan will put it on the website tomorrow. But we will meet next Monday in these chambers at 6:30, the board, and the Common Council will meet at 7 p.m. to hear this presentation and hopefully approve this agreement. All right, with that, I'll ask for a motion to approve, to adjourn.
I make said motion to adjourn.
I second. The meeting is adjourned at 6:51 p.m.